Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 30th, and today we're going to take a look at this system meandering out over the Pacific Ocean here in the Gulf of Alaska. Is eventually going to head our way, but before that, we're going to get a few nice days across the region, and you can see that infrared satellite imagery here spilling some showers into eastern Washington now. Just a slight chance of a thunderstorm through this evening and tonight. Not too big a deal. Then we do have some thunderstorm chances coming across the region here for the next couple of days. We'll take a look at that in some detail as well. You can see the upper level low here spinning just over the Dakotas, brought that severe weather to Minnesota, down the dry line into Kansas. I was out chasing that, did not get a tornado. But back to the Pacific Northwest here, you can see the day one does have that very small risk of a thunderstorm for eastern Washington into the Idaho Panhandle. And for day two, you can see the threat still exists for the northern Cascades mainly and portions of eastern Oregon down through Idaho. As we go into day three, I'll notice for the Oregon, Washington Cascades do have that thunderstorm threat too. We'll look at the Cape here and you'll see that build during the day there. And there is also a risk out there for western Montana and Idaho during the day here as well on Wednesday. So checking out Seattle, I mean, I go away and nothing changes apparently. The high temperature was only 56 today. That is an astonishing 13 degrees below average. The low temperature of 48. I mean, these are like January and February temperatures a lot of times. But yeah, so as you can see, below average for most of the month, just 1 or 2 days above average temperatures. And you can see, look at the last 4 days, significantly below average. And we're going to warm back up a bit though tomorrow. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. So looking here, you can see the Cape on the NAM, and this shows that Cape that was out there this evening, but that's going to dissipate. And then mainly just the North Cascades tomorrow. As you can see, the Cape does build up across much of the Washington Cascades. And watch this as we go into Wednesday too. You'll see that Cape build all the way down to the Oregon Cascades, and that's why the SPC does have that thunderstorm risk all the way down into Northern California. And again, for portions of Idaho, eastern Oregon, and western Montana as well. So checking out the NAM, look at this as we go on into tomorrow. So dealing with the really chilly temperature, tomorrow is going to warm up quite nicely. Look at that, all the way up to the 70s for the Puget Sound, Willamette Valley, eastern Washington. The coasts are going to remain a bit chilly there, but it will be warmer than it was today for sure. And again, that's small risk of a thunderstorm up mainly in the Cascades of Washington tomorrow. That will extend all the way down into the Oregon Cascades on the day Wednesday. As you can see, we warm up pretty well Wednesday. Look at the NAM calling for upper 70s for Seattle. That would be, that's probably about 7-8 degrees above average for this time of year. So a very nice day coming up here on Wednesday. As you can see, the Oregon coast stays a bit chilly through the day there, but look at eastern Washington warms up nicely, Willamette Valley as well. Now, this is looking on into the extended a bit here. As we get our nice day Tuesday and Wednesday, the ridging starts to fall away there, and you'll see that trough open up off the west coast, the Gulf of Alaska. And then look at this trough swing in through the extended early June, direct hit on Washington State there, as you can see, and it slides up over the west portion of the USA as ridging then again builds in the extended. But that's a bit too far out to get concerned about. But the main story is that after these nice few days, it looks like we turn back into a trough through early June and potentially get pretty chilly again there on in through next week. But we'll watch that as we go. I'll do a briefing probably again in a day or two. I'll be home shortly as well sometime this week. Now looking at the GFS to see if it agrees with the European model here. You can see the nice day, the ridging holds on through Wednesday, but then you can see that troughing returns off the west coast here. And you'll see that kind of retrograde out in the Gulf of Alaska. Let's see if it does what the European does. Not too much, but this is the new GFS run. Let's go ahead and back up to the 18Z model and check that out. And just make sure. But you can see it does kind of keep the low off the shoreline more than the European does. Has it dive that trough right over the western portion, the northwest portion of the USA there. But the GFS does keep the Gulf of Alaska active as we go on through the extended here. Let's look at the Canadian, see what it says. This is the new one running. So let's back up to this morning's here. And you can see the ridging holds on through Wednesday. Good model agreement there. So a couple nice days coming up here from most areas. Then you see the trough building off the west coast here. And then eventually it just kind of hangs out. It does not eject the trough over Washington State like the European does. So the GFS and Canadian are in good agreement there with that. And then you can see a bit of ridge building there as we go into the extended, but the Gulf of Alaska trough still going strong in this La Nina spring. So check out Seattle Tacoma. I mean, it wants to hold on this morning's run anyway. For the European, wants to hold on to the temperatures pretty good through Friday. Then it brings that cooling trend as that trough really dives across the region here as we go through early June. As we get towards mid-June, we're still in that trophy pattern according to the European. As for Portland, you can see the same thing here. A nice warm day on Thursday, probably up towards 80 degrees for Portland, and well into the 70s probably on some of these days as we go through Friday before that troughing returns. But again, the GFS and Canadian are in disagreement with the European there on this one. And I wanted to show you guys this before I sign off here. It's pretty late here out here, and I'm in Wichita, Kansas right now. I'm planning on chasing the Texas Panhandle tomorrow. But if you check this out, look at the CFS ensemble mean. This is the ENSO temperatures. This is our La Nina versus El Nino conditions. You can see as we go on in through later this summer, it actually shows us moving more into neutral territory than it did previously. And this one was just released here May 30th. So this is an updated model run. You can see as we get out towards November, December, January, you can see the La Nina signal is waning, although it is still cooler across the central Pacific than normal, but it looks like La Nina may not be a sure thing coming up this year. So we're going to watch this closely. These are updated every Monday. So we're going to go ahead and check back with this every single Monday and kind of watch how this evolves as we go on into summer and on into fall and see if we're going to deal with another La Nina year coming up here. But there is some uncertainty with this. So we'll just go ahead and watch that. But yeah, enjoy these nice days coming up here before the troughing returns. Probably going to bring some systems and some clouds, but there's going to be a big difference between what the European shows for the Pacific Northwest versus what the GFS and the Canadian show. So we'll try to work out some of those model discrepancies as we go on through this week coming up here. And again, I'll be back this week and I'll start doing my daily briefings again. And yeah, otherwise, you know, you guys leave some comments. I've been getting good feedback. I might do another hotel review at some point on this little trip out here, storm chasing. But yeah, so yeah, click like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.